All right, as in the email I sent through, these flies, just a couple I've watching on YouTube. These are tied by a bloke with the name of Gunnar Bremer. I think he's over in Canada somewhere. But basically they're tied totally from pheasant. So this is the first one we're tying, which is originally tied on a jig hook. Only I've just put it on a B8 B175 size 6 with a either brass or tungsten bead, whatever you want. So we'll get into it. So basically what I've done now, I've just started my thread. I've got a bead on. I'm using mono thread. The reason I'm using the mono thread is for when we get to the section of the eyes, you put the mono over the stick-on eyes, and then when you put the UV resin over the top, the mono disappears. So basically, if you've got your pheasant skin, select yourself a couple of nice Marabou, a bit like chickaboo feathers. If you don't have pheasant, you can use any sort of Marabou, it doesn't really matter, just to suit yourself. And then if you don't have any pheasant soft hackle, you can use partridge or whatever you want to use. But come down the feather to where it's still flex, still got a bit of bend. You don't want the thick stem because you're going to be wrapping this by the tip. So once you find that section, just cut it off and clear a little bit of the stem, and just tie the feather in. And all I'm doing here is just one wrap from right to left, come under, and come over left to right, just so you get that 90 degrees across the shank of your hook, and a couple of turns in front, just to lock it in. Grab your hackle pliers, find the stem in the feather. Be very careful with the Marabou because I broke a couple earlier today just playing with this, trying to get it right. And all we're going to do is we're going to wrap it around, and we're just going to cloak it as we go. So just preening the feathers back behind. Now, the reason I like this fly, the technique, is I think that the way the Marabou is going in for the tail would be, good on some of the woolly buggers we use, or the Shrek or Magoos, whatever, just to get that full wrap around the hook. And my son's just snuck into the shed. He's going to get himself a beer out of my beer fridge. So that was the noise of the roller shutter, if you heard that. So just wind that forward and just stroking the feather, the fibres of the feather back as you go. Tie that one in. I didn't mention I'm using I did mention I'm using a mono thread, didn't I? Yep. So once you've tied that through, straight your feathers back and overwrap your windings to where you tied it in. So I started at the barb. So I wind it back, so you're winding back over the stems, and that locks everything in. Come back forward to the front and get your next feather. So you're going to put two of these hackles in, tied in the same way, right to left, left to right. Couple of turns in, and I just broke my thread. How do you like that? Bear with me. Oh, no. Right, let's try that again. You keeping up, Mr. Butler? Wouldn't be hard at this point in time.
No, I've only just started winding in. I just wanted to watch the technique to start with.
Okay. You want me to wait for you?
No, so you tie around the back of the hackle as well, is that right?
When I'm tying it in?
Yeah.
I'll go from right to left over the top, come behind it, and come in from left to right, back over the hackle. So it basically sits at 90 degrees on your hook shank.
Yeah.
Once again, hackle pliers. And the same process. All right, that one's done. Cut off the excess. The same again, wrap back over where you've wound them back into where you actually tied it in. So it actually locks everything in. The idea behind this is if you get a tooth or something grabbing it, this is actually not going to break your stem. It's just going to protect everything in the feather. Right. Once you've got that, the next one is a bit of flash. I'm using some hairline ice dub pheasant tail. I just find it's a nice colour, but just anything you like to suit what you want or what you've got. Just grab a pinch. You don't want a lot. And all you're going to do here is just catch it on your hook, but as you wind it on, just roll it around your hook as well. Just to spread it out. When you've done that, just fold it back over itself and lock it in. So you'll lose some of the flash, some will stay in. Just get it to where you want it, lock it off. So it's not a lot of flash, it's just a little bit of an accent just to highlight it. So then what we're going to go for is we're going to go, and I've picked out 3 pheasant down near the rump feathers. We're going to go from sort of a longish barbule to short. So start off with your longest one. Then we just want to preen them back. We're going to tie it in by the tip and then wrap it forward. Same process, Steve. Right to left, left to right.
So what's that one you've just tied in? Sorry, mate.
It's just a pheasant rump feather, just down near the rump. So it's hasn't got a lot of colour in it. It's just got a bit of the pheasanty colour. And you want to wind it. So it's got a little bit of marabou in it as well. So a little bit there. So what we're going to do again is the same process. Just wind it forward and folding the feather back as we go in the cloaking fashion. Wind that forward. We want to wind it forward so we get maybe 1 or 2 turns of the marabou in there as well.
So what colour dub do you want me to use in this one, mate?
I'm using the pheasant tail ice dub. You can use whatever colour you want that suits the fly colour you got. So if you wanted to use the Spirit River root beer, you could go use that one. That'd suit it quite well.
Yep.
Or you could even put a green through it if you wanted to. A baitfish green type colour. Once you've got that through, a couple of turns of marabou in front, tie it off. And again, hold your feather back and wind back over to your tying point. Everything's coming back over the feather, over the fly. A little bit more, a bit of the dubbing. If my fly starts turning red, I just prick myself on the hook. And another feather in front of that. Same feather, again tied in by the tip. Now I don't want to go, this is probably going to be the last one for me, because I don't want to go too far forward onto the bead. So it's pretty simple fly. Just making sure you. I suppose the biggest issue I've had was breaking the hackle on the tail bit, but I've done all right today so far. Tonight, and I just broke that off.
So do you tie 2 in before you put some more dub in, mate?
I just go feather, dubbing, feather, each just cycle it through.
That's exactly what I look like when I first wake up.
Okay, once again, just wind back over. You need to make some space now, just in behind for the eye. So again, I'm just using the hollow silver 316 eyes, stick-on eyes. Wrong way. Those ones there. Right, let's get these babies on. So all I'm doing is just, I put the sticker, the eyes on the side, just a couple of loose wraps of the mono thread over the top of the eye to hold it in place. And once you've got them in place, put a whip finish on and finish it off. All I do now is I wet the Marabou back so everything just stays out of the way. Just going to put some UV resin on. We don't want our Marabou getting caught in that. So I just put a drop on the top. Just work that around the hook, covering all the eyes. This sort of gives your eyes that bit of a 3D effect once you get everything in place. I'll just put a little bit more on there, I think.
Craig, which UV resin are you using?
That's the Raids app.
No, but which density?
That's the thin.
Thin. Okay, thanks.
Yep. That's not looking too bad. That's the finished fly. Questions, criticisms?
So, where do you use this?
To be honest with you, I haven't used it yet.
Okay. Okay.
I've just I was watching the YouTube channel of this bloke, and he tied these flies up, and I thought, well, they would work in our lakes, and I
Yep.
reckon they'll also work on the sea runners in the Derwent. So,
Yeah, sure.
so given the chance, that's what's going to happen with them. They're going to probably get thrown early season. Penstock might even get a look at them.
Yep.
And the Derwent River.
Good.